Hello again, I'm Wex from the Oaks Game Room community. Welcome to episode 4 of my Factorio Learn to Play series. This will be a look at the short-term goals for my game. I don't like the idea of lurching from episode to episode with no clear roadmap, so let's create one. One of the behind-the-scenes benefits of this Factorio series is that I am getting some desperately needed practice with the video editing software. This episode is an example of me learning how to do things like voiceovers. I decided to do some scouting, which is pretty boring stuff, so I recorded this audio separately, and while you're listening to me, you get to see the scouting. I assume that I'll blunder into a biter nest or two and probably die a couple of times. You won't hear me react because all this chatter was recorded before I started the scouting mission. Okay, here's the roadmap. Number 1, I need to find out where the biter nests are so I can learn where the attacks will come from, hence the scouting mission. Number 2, I've decided that before I go any further with base development, and by inference create more pollution which will draw attacks, I want to automate the creation of things that I seem to constantly stop to create. Things like transport belts and inserters, for instance. So I'm going to build some assemblers and drop-off chests for them. Number 3, after the scouting I'll know where to place base defenses, and that's what I'm going to concentrate on next. I'll build walls and turrets at choke points, if I'm lucky enough to find choke points between biters and my base. Otherwise, longer walls will have to do. I'll concentrate on research related to improving the effectiveness on the defenses. Number 4, next will come the development of green science production. It's more complicated than red science, and what a surprise that is. But as you probably have noticed, you can't get very far on just the red science research projects. Number 5, once green science is running, it's time to investigate all the things related to oil, pumping, refining, and then learning what petroleum products become available to us. That list should keep me busy for a few episodes, and maybe by then it'll be time for me to create another roadmap episode. I might as well mention that although plenty of Factorio players have invested immense amounts of their time in figuring out the ultimate efficient setups for things like power and production and research and everything else, I've decided to ignore most of their fine efforts. So my game will be terribly inefficient. It'll be a mess of spaghetti, and that's just fine with me. As I notice my blunders and figure out ways to improve things, I'll do it. I just don't care for min-maxing regardless of the game. Some people enjoy wringing every last atom of efficiency from their games, but that's not me. Part of the fun for me is stumbling around and generating an occasional "oh my God" moment when I realize, on my own, things that I could have looked up in the wiki or found using Google. When the next episode begins, I'll have more of the map exposed, and I'll hopefully know where the dangerous areas are. I may have an idea where to expand, both for my factory and for my future resource needs. I'll show you the map, and then get started on the rest of the tasks I listed earlier. I hope you're enjoying this series, and I'd appreciate any feedback you have, either in the comments or on the Oaks Game Room forum. Thank you for watching. I'm Wex, and I'm out of here.